So I started my second YouTube channel about my life and about tattooing and about the music and movies and art and comics and everything else that I'm into. Um, I didn't assume that when I started this channel that the only time I'd make any fucking videos is because somebody relevant and famous died. Um, Last video I made had a bit about Big Black, Christopher Boykin passing away, and it sucked and whatever to have to pay notice or to have to make content centered around that. And then today I wake up. It's my day off, so I sleep in a bit, wake up a little bit late, jump on the Facebook and whatnot, check my messages and what have you. Turns out Chris Cornell from Soundgarden, an audio slave, as well as his own solo project, Temple of the Dog as well, passed away. Dude, if you did not know, was a very influential musician in the early 90s grunge scene, kind of pioneer of it, along with the Kurt Cobains and Eddie Vedders of the world, Pearl Jam, Nirvana, Soundgarden, all kind of the big tiers, Alice in Chains, that like the pillars of that genre of music in the early 90s when music wasn't incredible. They kind of broke out and created this thing out of the Pacific Northwest. While I wasn't a massive diehard Soundgarden fan, I certainly enjoyed their music. My father is a big fan. I have fond memories of him just blaring cassette tapes of bands like Soundgarden and Alice in Chains. Specifically, Soundgarden, I think he connected with just because Chris Cornell's voice is very reminiscent at times of a lot of classic rock bands. His range is up there with the likes of Robert Plant and stuff like that. So, while I wasn't like listening to Soundgarden every single day of my life, I do enjoy their music, and I have been a fan per se for basically as long as I can remember. Um, there are certainly bands I like better in that era, but you know, I do have fond memories. First time I ever heard of the band, or ever maybe not heard of, but recall like the first memory that I attached to that band's name and to that voice. Because I was very young, probably 8 or 9 years old, and watching a lot of MTV when MTV was actually like a relevant place to discover and receive and hear and enjoy music. The Black Hole Sun music video, which, if you haven't seen it, it's fucking weird, but such a well put together piece of art. And I was very, like, weirded out, but enamored with it all at once, and very interested in that. It made me, like, kind of figure out that, like, music videos were sort of a form of art. That, and, like, Alice in Chains music video for I Stay Away, another sort of video like that, where it took, like, different animation, different editing into the music video world, where it wasn't just like, oh, here's this band on stage and they're doing awesome and look at how into them everybody in the crowd is in this video, or like, here's just a dude dancing. Like, it sort of told a story in a very weird, trippy, sort of LSD trip seeming sort of way. From that moment, I kind of like pieced together in my head that band with that experience, and it became a relevant part and like a very formative part in my taste in music and how I viewed things, looking for more substance in art and in music. So it's a bummer that through battling years, very well documented, he battled with addiction, battled with depression and stuff. Dude hung himself in a hotel room in Detroit and was discovered by a family friend, and that's terrible. Like, I've spent my whole life around people with mental illness, and that shit's no joke. It's the real deal. It's problematic. A lot of people suffer, and a lot of people deal with that shit all the time, day to day. And for some people, the the feeling gets so crippling and so hindering that they don't see a better way out. And this is a dude that probably has made millions of dollars through his career, has sold out arenas, has fans that adore him. And it's still not enough when you feel that way to have fame or fortune, or to have a very driven, very enthusiastic, very passionate fan base of people who admire and adore you. It's just not enough. So that sucks. I didn't want to have to make this video, my third video on this channel, about something like that again, but here we are. Outside of that, now that this has been a lengthy tribute to Chris Cornell or whatever, just living life, doing my thing. I helped my lovely girlfriend Allison dig out and put in a little border to a flower bed that she's going to be planting in her front yard, which is pretty cool. Totally her idea. I am not a gardening sort of yard work type dude. Ask my dad, he loves that shit, and I've avoided it like the plague for 31 years. And, that's her project, and I'll help her where I can, but I'm not a fan of the outdoors because it is 100 goddamn degrees out today in Florida in the Tampa area, and it sucks. Aside of that, something annoying that's happened over the past few years with tattoo artists on Instagram and on Facebook and on the internet and social media in general is these mediocre tattooers, and great tattooers do it as well, but some mediocre tattooers will post something like, now booking, right now is May, so we'll say now booking July and August. Please come in and book your appointments now, otherwise, nope, you don't get tattooed by me for those months. And as a tattooer, as somebody who works 5 days a week tattooing and has for the last 10 years, who has a big clientele, I have a big, wonderful clientele of people I tattoo, I kind of want to call bullshit. There's no fucking way that some of these tattooers doing the work that they're doing are working any amount of relevant hours and booking out that much time in advance. I mean, I know that there are corner cases out there where some folks are, where they're like the best artist in their town, even if they're not incredible, big fish in a small pond sort of thing, so they stay busy or whatever, but part of me speculates that these tattooers are working 3 days a week maybe and booking out that far in advance by just booking a single appointment a day, doing their appointment, and then doing nothing and going home or whatever. That's the only explanation I have for it, which really, are you that busy or that exclusive or that booked when you're not working the hours? And I'm not trying to damn anybody or downplay what they've accomplished or what they've done if they've truly gotten there. But there are some artists that I see posting that I gotta think otherwise. Maybe something's up. And part of it is also the sort of the mentality of creating this false sort of hype around you, and this false sort of need around having tattoos that you do, getting tattooed by a specific person because of that exclusivity. So part of me kind of wonders, if it's not for them just posting something to get in while you can to create that sort of hype around them to book their schedule up as much as possible when they're not really that booked. Part of me wonders if they're now booking July and August, if they're sitting there next week or the week after not doing any tattoos or taking walk-ins, but because their internet persona, wasn't connected to that, they could do that on the side, do those tattoos that walk in the door while still maintaining this persona on the internet. How real is that compared to the individual? So, as I do, I went and made the sarcastic SpongeBob meme or whatever about that. Instagram, @BiggieTattoos. Check it out because I'm so exclusive that you have to follow me on social media to get tattooed by me. But yeah, that's been something that's been happening for years now, but just recently I saw this tattooer who, I don't even recall the dude's name, but not somebody that I feel there's a line around the corner beating down his door to get tattooed by him. posting stuff like that. I'm like, really, dog? Come on, man. Just be real. Like, I'm real. I'm not booked up for fucking weeks in advance. I have people come to me to get tattooed, and they walk through the door of the shop, and I'm like, hi, what's up? And they're like, I want to book a tattoo with you. I'm like, cool, what do you want? When do you want to get it done? And within the next week or two at the most, depending on how complicated it is, I'm booking that appointment and I am drawing that shit up and putting it on their skin and getting them in as soon as possible and getting them on and moving on with their lives and shit. So I could first and foremost, get that money and also make a client happy and get paid. And I'm not the sort of artist to like work short hours. I work 10 to 12 hours a day, 5 days a week. I'm not trying to lower my schedule or to like sit on a bunch of deposits from people and not produce the work. If somebody comes to me with a $50 or $100 deposit for a bigger piece and puts it down on the table, I'm getting that shit done as soon as possible. I want you to have your tattoo. I want to do as good a job of it. I'm not going to rush it, but I'm going to spend the time to draw it up, to book your appointment, sit down and fucking tattoo you. That's how I came up in it. I came up in street shops doing little banger tattoos, which I do every fucking day of the week still. Like your infinity symbols and your feathers and your little white girl tattoos and your names and lettering and kanji and little tribal and small flash pieces and whatever the latest Pinterest trend is. I'll do that shit all day. It doesn't bother me because I get paid, and genuinely I enjoy tattooing. So even when it's the shit that's not my most artistically expressive artwork, tattoos or whatever, I'm gonna do that tattoo because I like tattooing and I like making money, and it's how I pay my bills. It's how I make a living. It's how I afford to help my girlfriend plant a flower bed in front of my house, or to have expensive ass habits like Magic the Gathering and shit. Not to say I'm rich or make an abundance of money more so than any other artist, but I like to get the money ahead of time if I'm booking an appointment and get the tattoo and the work done as soon as possible. I don't need people to linger for 2 months to get tattooed by me so I feel like I'm a big deal or an exclusive sort of huge artist with this giant following and giant name that I'm so booked up. And like, I know tattooers that do book up that time, but they also work 3 days a week. So it's like, okay, how much more busy or exclusive are you? Just because you're hard to get time with or hard to book an appointment with doesn't make you better than the dude down the street that's just hustling and working his ass off to please his customers and make some money. That's my tattoo rant of the day. Aside from that, Florida's fucking hot. I guess it's the hottest first 4 months of a year that have happened since like 1895 or some such shit on record by average high temperature, which is goddamn ridiculous. It's fucking 95 is the high out there today. I'm sweating balls inside because I just helped out putting this little fucking border in, and I still haven't cooled down. So if I look all flush and sweaty and hot, it's because there's sweat off my brow. Florida sucks. Don't move here. Come and visit. Go to Disney. Come see your grandma or whatever. But fuck, don't live here. It's so hot. Unless you're like some sort of partial reptilian human, there is no reason to live in this motherfucker. Like, I got dragged down here by my parents when I was 3 years old because my dad's mother and stepfather moved here, and work was better down here in the 80s than it was up in Ohio, I guess. If you were in Youngstown, Ohio, and wanted to work, you had to work for GM, and GM wasn't hiring, so my dad came down here. Which, I thank him for going out of his way and moving his whole family to try to make ends meet and to make some money and to feed his kid. Because, I've missed plenty of meals here. But, fuck, Dad. You could have picked a better state, like a better place to live as far as temperate weather goes. Like, whew, it is goddamn hot out. Anyway, I apologize for the long tangent I just went on. I just want to make another video, and we're running long here, 15 minutes-ish. So, if you've made it this far, I appreciate that. Please like, subscribe to my channel, comment on this video and my other couple videos. Share if you feel the need to, or if you find me interesting enough to tell other people about me, which I doubt that I am. But that's cool too. Either way, next time some fucking influential celebrity dies, maybe I'll be back to make another video. I hope not. Now that, like, Chris Cornell and Lane Staley and Kurt Cobain are dead, like, somebody better fucking protect Eddie Vedder. Like, Eddie Vedder, go, like, put on some foam padding, don't go outside, and stay healthy, dog, because you're, like, the last pillar of grunge. Either way, I will talk to you soon.